And welcome back. We are ready to get ourselves into today's game. It is going to be EcsTATIC, it is going to be one shot. As we did mention quite extensively in the pre-game, but we get to arrive ourselves on Nuke. And with EcsTATIC starting out on that CT side, we're going to be able to see if they can maybe get an early lead of a one shot, but it's EcsFASHR. We'll be finding that first shot. It's FPS to get taken down, a big name from this one-shot side to go down early, and the EcsTATIC side, they have gone for a kit, a couple bits of flashbang, a couple of flashbangs rather, from Bird from Sky. One shot have a smoke and a flashbang as well for themselves to play with. EcsFASHR, he's going to light up another one. Cynic's now taken down. Here's Wolfy in the corner. He's going to be brought into the bait, and it's perfect as Wolfy. He gets himself two. Greg, all he can manage is a single kill as Bird from Sky swings in to clean things up. A lovely round there from EcsTATIC and EcsFASHR. Great work towards a ramp.
Hello. Sorry, I was having some technical issues. My mixer didn't want to work along, so hopefully my mic sounds okay. My ears are being blasted off because I can't change the volume, but we'll make do, won't we, Dan?
Yeah. I'll try not to shout too loud for you, but forgive me if I do sin.
It'll be okay. I'm going old school, using that Windows volume mixer. Looking like I didn't miss too much, but, well, a force bite could maybe get a little bit done here for EcsTATIC, or rather, one shot. I said EcsTATIC because it was EcsTATIC who were actually finding all the success. It's Wolfy up close with a little bit of help from EcsFASHR, who took a couple, and Cynic's all alone. He shouldn't be getting much out of this. A bit of a distraction even from the vents.
Yeah, pretty clean. Very clean, actually, so far from EcsTATIC. It was a clean pissed around as well, Dean. Obviously, you had a few niggles to try and sort out. So yeah, it was a clean pissed around. EcsFASHR getting some nice shots through, getting himself started very early on, and Wolfy as well getting in there. So lovely to see. And one shot there just on pistols yet again. Hopefully, they can find a kill or two. Anything to try and rile up this economy a little bit. You don't want to be letting the CT side get too much cash early on. A clean round here would certainly bolster it. This Bird from Sky is in a good position just to hold towards the yard. Spot out the first player. And use all of his utility just to make the fight a little bit better for himself.
Yeah, I mean, with the backup here from Wolfy as well, I don't think they're going to struggle too much. They've obviously gone very heavy on rifles here on the side of EcsTATIC, though, so if these Deegs can even find 2 or 3 kills, then they're going to be getting quite a lot for their efforts, I've got to say. So it is a situation where EcsTATIC really want to ensure that this is as clean as possible. Get things going in a fantastic way, really, here on Nuke, if they are able to do so, building up on what's already an okay economy here. Nice shot, though, by Beta, so maybe I have jinxed it a little bit, and, well, with Cynic's following up, suddenly it's a round that looks very winnable.
Yeah, ooh. I thought maybe EcsDaffu would be able to sort things out there from main, but he takes a 50 cal bullet through the cranium as well, and now EcsFASHR is going to be the one that needs to step up, and he's creeping over above the silo. Hasn't spotted out the player below him. That's the bomb. If he does get it, it'll be a great kill, but Jekka has taken him out of action. Now it's all onto Manx, and Dean, this round has fallen apart. 18 seconds. Doesn't matter, because they'll get the bomb planted. And a 3-on-1. Manx. How does he get back in towards this A site?
I mean, at the very least, he does have a kit to work with, but I don't even think it's something he wants to risk at this point. They've got a bit of money on Wolfy that might let them salvage together some sort of a buy. He could obviously pull out a rifle and body armor if he wanted, and then they could maybe get a few SMGs as well to back it up, and I think it's probably something that they're going to be going for here to try and stop one shot from getting off to what now looks like it could be a pretty good start, despite those initial 2 rounds really not going their way. It's a few deagle kills here that just open things up and swing the round, and with that, the early tide of the game here, the way of one shot. Manx, at the very least, is going to be safe. Got to find some silver linings, I suppose.
Yeah, not many silver linings in a round where you fall to the deagle buy, but yeah, always look on the bright side. Is what they say. As it goes 2-1. One shot with a great opening now to try and exploit this early game and get a few rounds on this T side, maybe break the EcsTATIC economy here as well, because they've gone for the force buy. It's those 2 M4s, as you said, a couple MP9s. Bird from Sky picks up a FAMAS as well, but it's the full rifles from One Shot. They have the advantage, and EcsTATIC, they are going to be on the back foot, especially if they can't inflict a bit of damage to One Shot here along the way.
Yeah, that's kind of a bare minimum, but even then, I feel like they just need to win out this round. Otherwise, they're down on the eco, maybe even a double eco, depending on the way they look at it, and One Shot will just have too good of a chance to get that lead going. The problem now, of course, is the fact that they're setting up this B split. Wolfy's ready to at least spot the players coming down from Secret, but he's going to need backup, and his teammate is going to be very busy and on ramp as well. So this is looking like a difficult split for them to actually contain on towards this B bomb site.
And you've got this flanking party as well, which is actually going to be a bit of the main force, because Grek, he just removed Manx. He had no idea they were coming in already. They were silent as the dead of night as they push forward. He's going to be the first kill goes his way, but he's losing teammates, and he will fall the same fate as EcsDaffu is all that remains, an MP9. And just a single kill from EcsTATIC in this round. One Shot. I've just been exceptionally clean here. EcsDaffu has recovered the M4 at least, so we'll try and get out of that. It's a weapon at least he can field in that next round to maybe find something to work with, maybe be the catalyst for a round, but it's going to be unlikely.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't tempt them into buying again, because
yeah,
that would really just spiral things out of control at this stage. You have to remember as well, this is, I believe, EcsTATIC's map pick. No, sorry, it's actually the map pick of One Shot. I had it wrong. My bad. Looking over now and double confirming. So, yeah. I guess you could, well, that makes sense with EcsTATIC on the CT side, of course, but you could expect, I suppose, things to be a little bit rougher. But considering it was a 16-8 the last day as well in favor of One Shot, you kind of need to ensure you have a good start if you want it not to pretty much go the exact same way. So EcsTATIC do need to turn this around as soon as possible, and, well, they've invested a lot. That's not going to let them buy in the next round. They're going to be looking at another maybe half investment again, giving One Shot maybe a chance to even go towards 4 rounds. So we need to see them at the very least do some damage, and, well, that was a good chance, but unfortunately FBS had his teammate covered.
And he wants a bit more as well. He's going to go aggressive through the garage, see if he can maybe get towards Heaven, get a wrap in towards that A site as he waits for his, or as his teammates rather, will wait over towards the yard. But it's actually Cynics who will get that shot. FASHR takes the peek out as his teammate starts to climb up, and Cynics is starting to have a bit of a fun time, but just 1957 will shut him down. FPS, not as much as I expected maybe from that flank. It's hard to do when there's not many players alive, but Manx with the Eagle now. AK upgraded. And yeah, without the armor, there's not much you can do in that situation. A couple kills, all EcsTATIC can find. And it's going to be another eco here, surely. Maybe a bit of a half buy again. But One Shot.
I'd hope not.
Yeah, they're going to be up to 4 rounds.
Yeah, they're getting a few pistols out of this, but even then I'd probably prefer they just prioritize their buy being as strong as possible in this next round, because the economy's already kind of in a ridiculous place right now for One Shot, so unless they get 3 or 4 kills, it's probably not even worthwhile, this bit of investment into the Deagles. So we'll have to see how much they can do. One Shot, though, they're fully aware that they're not up against very much. They can slow it down. They've been taking things a bit quicker over these past few rounds. Now is the time to take a breath. And maybe even think about what you're going to do going into this next gun round as well, while you're just making sure that these pistols aren't going to do too much to you. Awkward silence of CS. We don't get this too often. Not with CIS teams, anyway.
No, it's a rarity, a luxury, maybe. Depending on how you look at it, but yeah, One Shot will be all too aware of how effective the Eagles can be, having proved it to us not too long ago, just a few short rounds ago. Now it does look like they're starting to form up, starting to get themselves ready for whatever they do so, please. It looks like it's going to try and creep in towards this A side. Fader and yes, 2 power shots, and it's obviously against the pistol, so it's looking pretty clean so far. Daffu gets one from the site, but yeah, he doesn't last much longer. And 4 players alive. Another nice round comes through. One shot, you can see them building up a bit of cash now. And I say it a bit loosely. Fadit's on 10k. Get Jekkers on 13,000, Grex on 8,500. Like, they have a lot of cash already. They have a few buys worth, or at least 2 buys worth in their bank accounts. EcsTATIC needs to start chipping away at that now, and maybe Wolfy bringing out the AWP here can be the start of that.
Yeah, he's going to be up against FPS, who has his own one, of course, but he will have that slight advantage here on the defensive side. And it looks like they have the fight, but no, the flick doesn't land. He does spot the close drop, but he just can't really do too much about it. He gets one sure, and while his teammate will trade back, they still do in the long run end up losing this outside control with the numbers remaining equal, which for now I think is a position that One Shot are fairly happy with. What's the response from EcsTATIC is the question. They really don't have great positions. EcsMankz is just trapped in hell, waiting to see if anyone tries to flank. That's allowing these players to get ready now on ramp, as we can see. And the player around the A bomb site as well, unfortunately, hasn't been able to respond or push and find any info. Neither has board from Sky over in secret. I guess it somewhat minimizes where they could be towards, but they're not going to realize they're on towards B before it's a little bit too late if they do move that way.
FPS is in such a weird position, though, in this situation. He has a lineup. Doesn't quite get the chance to capitalize on it, though. He goes 1 for 1, keeps it even. And Cynic trades out, and they are aware. They're aware of the secret player. FPS is going to clear it. He gets the shot, and now it's all up to Daffu. A 1 versus 2, and he's going to play from inside the site. When does he peek? When does he want to take that first contact? Then, now, that is the perfect timing, and he gets the second 2. Cynic's caught with a nade in his hand, and finally, EcsTATIC will get a bit more success in this game. It cuts the one-shot streak of rounds short. And an opportunity now to start to build on this. But as I said, One Shot have so much cash. They could just straight buy into this again.
Yeah, it takes way more than One Shot to take them down, I suppose you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you were saying, they even have enough for another buy behind this one. It would require a couple drops, but they could manage with Get Jekka being so rich. So EcsTATIC can't afford another round here where they live with only a single player, and they definitely can't afford to go ahead and lose this one, which is looking relatively likely unless Wolfy comes away with a bit of a miracle. And honestly, just to survive right there, even with the 1 kill, pretty decent recovery from the position he was in, but they need more. They're going to need to go ahead and take some initiative now, as they start to even lose the A bomb site in the meantime. Nothing can be done about it. There's no one ready to stop this bomb plant from going down. I think they might just call for the save, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's the best call here. MP9 on Daffu still. In the man disadvantage. Bomb planted. Daffu's going to see if he can maybe recover a rifle from this over towards the yard. There is plenty to take your pick of. Just need to make sure he doesn't get caught by one of these creeping T-side players. And I think they probably would have heard that dropped weapon. So you might want to skedaddle out there as quick as you can, Daffu. But it doesn't look like One Shot particularly are all too interested in going for the fight either. They're happy just to preserve their economy. They're going to play their own game. They're not going to focus too much on EcsTATIC's side of things here. They know they've already got EcsTATIC into an awkward position, even if they do upgrade inside M4. They know that it's going to be the weak economy, and well, they're right. 5-3. And EcsTATIC, they have to go for the force buy here. A couple of FAMASs to bolster the roster, but things not looking too good early on for EcsTATIC.
No, I'd say that's maybe even a slight bit of an understatement. To be fair, with the weapons carried through, they can just about manage to have a shot in this round, but if this one goes south, then One Shot have already got themselves a fantastic B-side. Well, this is a change-up. The pace is going to be brought up a notch, and while it starts off well for Fade, Daffu is just a monster behind these silos on the bomb site. Saved them in that round before when he managed to give them their third on the board, and it looks like he's the nail right now to go ahead and ensure that they cannot get their way out onto this A bomb site, locking that door down. Even only Grek and FPS, and while they're both very formidable foes, they're outnumbered 2 on 4 with the bomb also out of their control, and well, Daffu has given them a little bit of a chance. We'll have to see now if any more opportunities are given away, because they are waiting for them. They've still got lots of time to make this happen. Oh, but a missed shot from FPS. That seems a little bit uncharacteristic as to what we've seen so far. But that was fortunate. He survives the nade. Uh-oh.
Oh, the HP. The HP and Wolfy. He's on the flank. Doesn't expect the second player. And Greg maybe had a chance, but Manx is there in reply. And Greg, he can't move your mouse that quick.
I almost thought he was going to get the knife there just when he was running at him.
Yeah.
Not expecting the player. I've had it happen a couple times. The panic knife, and you're like, did that just happen? 4-5. I mean, it's, again, though, one player surviving. EcsTATIC in these last 2 rounds they've taken, obviously the initial 2 rounds they took were very clean because they were the pistol and the round off the back of it. But other than that, these gun rounds have been a single player surviving, and that is not a way to sustain any sort of a half being built up.
Not at all, no. You need to be getting a couple rounds here where you have 4 or 5 players stay alive, get these clean ones through, and let's just get this rush in towards this A side of Fade and gets the first shot. EcsDaffu, oh, the flashbang timing is so perfect. He gets completely whited out. Bird from Sky does manage to catch one. But it's still the man advantage for one shot, and already EcsTATIC, they've gone for the save. They just can't get anything consistent here. They take a narrow win, and then it's just instantly one shot, just up in the pace, turning the dial up to 11 for a round, and just completely rolling the site.
I mean, in fairness, EcsTATIC really don't tend to be great here on Nuke, but having a look at how they normally perform, they are incredibly CT-sided, about 65% of their rounds, so it just doesn't bode too well for them, especially when we've seen the fact that it did go 16-8 when these two fought here previously. But then there was the reverse of that result on Vertigo, so even if one shot get their victory here, it's kind of just on track as to how it went in that previous week. Although I'm not expecting things to be as easy anywhere. I think EcsTATIC are still going to come back and give us a bit of fight. Their T-side hopefully will be stronger than it was in the last game as well, because they've had the chance to look at how exactly they played out their T-side and what wasn't working. So I'm not going to count them out yet, but it's definitely not looking fantastic for them, I won't lie. They've managed another decent investment here alongside the saved weapons. Lose this one, then they're on the eco, and that's when I think my hope starts to diminish a bit. But right now, win this, and there's still a shot at bringing this back into a fairly favourable position.
The key thing is, obviously, this is the one-shot map pick in this best of 3. And Fader is he's already down secret. He's just sprinted all the way down, did get tagged a little bit. So that may have been heard by the player garage, and I think definitely the jumps will have been heard by the player garage. But trades going on, leave things in a 4-on-4 as press. FPS requires the press, but Manx, he wanted a little bit towards the lobby. He does get one. Daffu doesn't get the same sort of reward as he gets taken down, and that gives one shot a little bit of space to work with over towards Squeaky. They're going to go down into the vent. Bird from Sky is right around the corner, but I think it went down silently. Bird from Sky is going to chase anyway, because obviously with the noise elsewhere, he assumes it is going to be that B-side. Get Jekka goes 1-for-1 with Wolfy trading out, and again 2v2. FPS inside of the site needs the shot. Nice little fight just to force Wolfy off the angle momentarily, but he needs to get away from this silo, needs to get into a better position because there is the chase. There is Bird from Sky from Decon, and now it's all up towards Cynics. The 1 versus 2, he can play the post plant. Nice out. Oh, it's not going to work if Bird from Sky peeks you, and Cynics can't manage it. EcsTATIC will find another round to post a 5th on the board, but again, only 2 players surviving. Not going to be great for the economy, but they're staying in this game. They're keeping things close, not letting one shot get away in this first half. That's the key point right now.
And the 2 players surviving definitely helps out. Importantly, carrying the op over for Wolfy as well, who, alongside Daffu, have really just been so instrumental in taking any rounds at all here on the CT side, so they need to keep this up. And while they're finally putting a dent in the economy, we do see one shot in a position where losing this one should leave them with at least a couple players who can't get the buy-in. Decent timing on that molly there as well. Should stop the cross of the majority of the T side for a few seconds. They decide instead, I believe, that they want to move in towards the A bomb site. A flash towards main. FASHR's not going to be showing himself, but the molly's not going to give him a lot of options. A smoke down, which leaves him trapped in the corner, hoping that Daffu can give cover from on top of the hut. And well, it's gone fairly well. It was actually Wolfy who got the kill, but he did function as a distraction, and, well, now they're combining to just go ahead and lock down the bomb site. It's a struggle for One-Shot to get anywhere near the site itself, and while they will eventually get a couple of trades, it leaves FPS alone. But he actually manages to bring it down to a one-on-one, and it's onto Wolfy with the USP to get the job done in the end. So again, no convincing rounds for EcsTATIC. It just seems like it's impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, at least the brief reprise we'll have is we're almost at the end of the half. so money won't be a factor on the CT side for much longer. They can just hang on in there. And actually, if they've broken One-Shot, they've finally gotten through all that economy on that One-Shot side, and a chance now just to build up a little bit of reserve against this scout, against the single AK, against a few pistols. But FPS losing his teammate. Wants to get this scout rolling towards the yard. I think it's going to be a harder fight than he maybe anticipates. You've got Wolfy with the AWP, bird for Sky towards main with the M4 as well. But a tag onto Wolfy will present a softer target for those pistols especially. Bird from Skies, he's just going to knock about over towards that secret steps, change up his position. FASHR's relocated in to take his vacated position, and there's Bird from Sky. Hops up like a whack-a-mole. Gets himself two, leaves it all towards Vader. And FASHR cleans it up. And EcsTATIC back in the lead, but obviously that was just against a bit of an eco round.
Yeah, I mean, there was one rifle and a scout in play, so
yeah,
a couple of casualties. Yeah, a couple of casualties wouldn't have been the biggest of deals, but they made it work pretty well. Managed to get themselves into a position where I think their money should be okay if they were to lose this round going into the final one, but obviously that wouldn't be preferable because right now EcsTATIC have a really good chance to get a 9-6 half out of this, and yeah, I probably wouldn't have believed that when they were at 6-4 not too long ago.
Yeah.
So it is a position where One-Shot, I think, realised that what was looking to be an amazing T-side half is somewhat slipping away. A positive, though, 6 is still a good foundation no matter what, but I think a 7th would be a pretty big help here so as to avoid losing the pistol, so as to avoid having the trouble where if they lose the pistol, then they're really just not going to have any room to work with. So here we go, FPS back on the up, everyone's got their rifles, and what's the plan now? Because it seems like, well, the defaults are what have been working for them. Managing to play off of the picks is what was working earlier on, especially towards that outside area, to see if any opportunities are going to be given or not. And, well, Manx is just taking himself a little bit more of an aggressive angle here on ramp. Nothing too crazy happening from EcsTATIC. I think they've dropped the player down secret, but other than that, they're not going to be going for anything too aggressive. Wolfy, I believe, just wants to see if he can grab a pick on outside.
I like this from Wolfy. Getting that off into a different position. I'm not sure he's played down towards secret so far, so I'm not sure they'll be expecting it early into the round. Just needs to be careful, he keeps himself alive, keeps himself safe, doesn't over-peak. That was a good time, especially if Bird from Sky's taking their attention as well. But I think he was just spotted. I think FPS saw the head, didn't take the shot, but they know he's there, and Wolfy smartly is going to back away. I know he's popping his head up there, would be a death sentence. There's this initial push towards the yard. It's just been stunted a little bit. One-Shot having to take stock. See what their options are. And it looks like the option they want to go for is relocating this bomb over towards potentially a ramp push. Manx is in position over there to try and deny it. 30 seconds on the clock. They need to pick the pace a little bit here. And maybe it's actually just a bit of a diversion because the bomb... it's actually going to head over towards Squeaky, and they're just going to run out into day. FASHR is in such a good position, can only manage the first. He's going to be up towards Daffu inside the site, as he's lost a lot of teammates, lost basically everyone. Manx now alone, 1 versus 3, and somehow One-Shot pull that off.
Crazy. Honestly, it looked like Manx might have even had a little bit of a chance coming back in there. The 2 players on the bomb site were somewhat isolated. If he had taken the one-on-one against the man coming in from main, then I could have seen his chance, but yeah, a little bit unfortunate. Daffu fell so quickly. If he even wasted another couple of seconds, then I think things maybe could have gone the other way. Again, though, I mean, EcsTATIC have done a good job at recovering this half, so I don't think they can be knocking themselves too much, but if they do end up coming out at a half with One-Shot having the upper hand, then it's still going to put them in a bit of an awkward spot, considering the CT side is the stronger of their halves. We'll have to see. It's only a lurker, I believe, being put outside for now, so a little bit of a switch-up. They don't actually put the outside smokes down like they have previously. Instead, Fade is going to be tucking himself in the corner for now, and the rest of the team set up around lobby. It looks to be just a fairly standard default, probably expecting that aggression towards outside.
Stalemate towards a ramp, though. FPS just almost willing Manx to go for the peak. Through instead, and Manx can't do it. They line up for him, but can't find either of them. A little bit of damage inflicted. As now EcsTATIC have to manage this rotation, have to get themselves in position to defend this B site, but you can see one shot. They aren't trying to press that advantage. They are going to try and backtrack and maybe exploit an open A site, which, I mean, looking like that's going to be the case right now. You've got Wolfy up in the rafters, M4 in hand. Daffu's just popped up from the vents. And this vent position hasn't been all that profitable for these EcsTATIC players so far this game. They've been kind of punished in this position. We'll see if Daffu can get anything done from it with this round. I get a little bit tongue-tied. Daffu definitely is not, with the first kill going his way for the EcsTATIC side. And now 15 seconds. One shot again. Running this clock down so low. Faded gets one, and they're going to hard clear him now over towards the back vent. But now Wolfy steps up. 5 seconds. He just needs to stay alive and try and back away, and he will. FPS can't chase time. He tries the shot, but it's no use. And EcsTATIC do pick up an 8 to lead the half, and we'll head to a break ourselves. See you on the other side. Well, with the first half split down the middle, it's now EcsTATIC who will take their turn on the T side. And it's going to be a very quick start to this one. Dean already, look at them towards the ramp. They wanted a bit of blood there, but will just be forced back.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick swarm onto that A-bomb site, and honestly, Grek, I thought he was going to go down a little bit quicker, but he comes away with the 1, but that's all that they're able to achieve in this round. Suddenly, Cynics is left alone in heaven, trying to funnel himself out of the smoke as his teammates had attempted, and, well, he's denied pretty quickly by a molly that goes down. I mean, he's got Kevlar here, he's not got a kit. If he can get a fast kill, then maybe it is worthwhile moving forward, but other than that, with a smoke all it's also in his possession, rather, it could be worthwhile even just trying to stay alive at this point, and well, that looks to be the goal. It does seem like he's willing to back away, maybe wait and see if anyone comes in his direction, perhaps take another kill or two if he could to add to the bank. But for EcsTATIC, this is a big find. We've seen how badly they needed the pistol in that previous half, as they were obviously, after getting the pistol, things did kind of go downhill. It allowed them in the end to have a decent shot at pulling out the half that they needed here and giving themselves a. So this second pistol round now as well, if they can build off the back of this, if they can make sure the first gun round doesn't go too poorly, you could potentially have EcsTATIC looking at taking away their opponent's map choice, which I wasn't expecting again when they were down 6-4 at one point, when all the gun rounds were either going the way of one shot or just barely being scraped by EcsTATIC. It didn't seem like too much of a possibility, but right now they are looking good.
Yeah, looking pretty decent here on Nuke, and it's something we sort of prefaced in the pre-game, the fact that these two teams obviously they played these maps in the first bout at the start of the group stage, and I'd be expecting closer games second time around. It looks like that is going to be on the cards. FPS though. Scout in hand. Not quite the sightlines he wants. He does tag up Bird from Sky, so fair enough. A little bit of damage achieved there.
Yeah, it's only a Mach 10 carrier at this point, but he'll likely just be used as a scout now. Although he does have the bomb on his back. If he goes forward with the bomb, that could be a little bit of an issue. I'll have to see exactly what the plan is. Yeah, I don't think they want to move quite yet, but even then, I don't know if he's fully aware that he's the one with that with that bomb on his back, rather. Maybe they do want to be seen so that they can pull some of those rotations down, because at the moment, anyway, they don't have everyone moving in this direction. And they are going to be walking into a bit of a stack indeed. The bomb goes straight down. The Eagle then a fade ends into a pop-up as the distraction comes in, and, well, despite Daffu's trade, he does even take some damage. So this is getting quite dangerous, but not a lot of time for them to go ahead and recover this bomb. Good kills, though.
Yeah, turning it back on its head. There you go. Daffu does great work from the vent. 3 kills from him. Playing those angles, loves it. EcsTATIC fine 10. And for one shot, I mean, a nice opening there. A couple of kills going their way, but obviously, as you mentioned, Bird from Sky was obviously with that Mach 10, being a bit more of a scout. Finally, he goes down. That was his entire point, was to take the initial contact and be a bit of a nuisance, maybe. Just divert their attention initially so his rifles can find the success. And now you have one shot again with pistol, but without the armor. This one should be relatively sedate one. Fade it, decides he wants to. This first shot at Eagle will get answered back almost immediately, and plays alive. They're getting a little bit cheeky on that one shot side. Greg now last one, 1 versus 3. Already potentially a bit more costly than EcsTATIC would have liked. If you could find another, that would be perfect. And potentially onto the Manx could be achievable.
Yeah, especially with the damage they also done in the previous round. It'll ensure that EcsTATIC really don't have the economy to keep the buys going if the first gun round doesn't go their way. And, well, that's kind of the best position one shot can hope for at the moment. And it looks like he might have the opportunity. That's the bomb as well. No, the timing doesn't work in his favor, unfortunately. He may even be caught off guard by FASHR here in the end, as he's somewhat looking back and forth between his 2 positions. And, yeah, he catches Greg just before he moves in towards main. A little bit unfortunate. Wasn't aware there was a weapon in towards Secret. Even if he moved in that direction and tried to get the kill on FASHR, it could have worked out for him. But it's going to be 11-7. A good lead here for EcsTATIC, I've got to say, but now we've got to question how it's going to go moving into these gun rounds, because, again, EcsTATIC, they are much stronger on the CT side here of Nuke. I think they only get about 35% of their rounds on the T side. So they're going to need a good start, basically, in this gun round.
Yeah. No up. Wolfy does have the up on that EcsTATIC side. He'll be wanting to try and get an opening, currently positioned over towards, well, looking towards Squeaky. We won't be able to see much of anything, though, through those smokes. He might get lucky with a timing shot, but that can't be the tactic. Your tactic can't be maybe you shoot one through a smoke. No. Looks like they are going to start to have a bit of a nosy over towards the yard. A few smokes going to be going down to mask their activity. I like these deeper smokes that teams have started doing more recently on Nuke, as opposed to the standard red to secret ones.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you a lot more space to work with, limits a lot more of the visibility that you have. Bird from Sky actually does win out that fight onto 6. Job. Now FPS is next in line. If they did push, they're actually going to back away. Yeah, indeed.
Oh, I was going to say that could be a bit of an issue actually for the CTs, but somehow Greg is able to go ahead and get a kill while on the ladder, and they're just being torn apart. What the hell happened? I do not know how Greg was able to just fly up the ladder and take himself a headshot, but that's what kicked off a spiral of kills right there that went from a 3-on-5, I believe, down to being a win for one shot. It looked like EcsTATIC had made a good call, potentially, to move back. Especially with the position FPS had. I believe he had someone initially even distracting from hell, so they were set up really well in towards ramp. That A-bomb site should have been the weakness, but they weren't able to get through. And with that, a pause needs to be called. They have okay money. I mean, they can just about scrape out the rifles and such. You're going to see the Galil on FASHR there, just so we can get a few nades behind it as well. They have enough to give it a shot. The problem is if they lose this one, then it's an eco. One shot will be up towards 10, and that next gun round could even put them back into the lead, which is not a position EcsTATIC want to be given away while they're here on this T side of Nuke. So this is a bit of a desperate round right now. They need to win this one.
Well, let's see if they can pull it out. One shot. What does he decide to do with his... Or what does FPS decide to do with his AWP-4 one shot? Exactly that. Beautiful first shot, takes EcsMankz out of action and just gets that upper hand almost immediately into the round. EcsTATIC now down a man. How do they fight out of this position? You've got a Molotov, 2 flashbangs, and a smoke to work with, Dean. What do you do?
Honestly, at this point, I'm not too sure. With the man disadvantage as well, you've just got to hope someone can get a little bit of a play. And right now, the man who could maybe do that is FASHR. He's creeping his way around out towards Hell. I believe EcsDaffu's headed back up towards the roof. He is the man with a flash and a molly, so he could be trying to clear out the player in around the hut right there, who they're aware, I believe, was making quite a bit of noise. So the goal might be to even split on towards this A-bomb site. Hopefully with a bit of noise, they can pull a rotation back from ramp. That could allow FASHR potentially to kill the rotator and give them a bit of an opening on towards the bomb site. But they need a move. They need to get a move on, rather, because there's only, as you can see, 45 seconds remaining. With the numbers being in favor of the CTs, with them still having some nades that could slow these pushes down as well, this is going to really be cutting it close. But if... Oh, no, that was his chance.
Oh, and he might get baited in. Oh, I thought Fade It was going to push back. I might still have a chance here to garner a kill, but no, Fade It. He's able to turn in time. I thought he might have gone a bit more aggressive towards Hell to find the shot, but he comes to him instead, and now it's all falling apart. Fade It is just down the ramp. Gets himself free. Bird from Sky does at least find him, but a 1 versus 4, he just runs into Cynic's M4. And one shot, they will find another round, and that's going to be the end of EcsTATIC's economy. I imagine they'll probably take the full eco and try and buy up in the next, but I mean, you've got 2,400 loss bonus. You'll be looking at $4,400 per player. Maybe just try and go for something focused on getting a bomb plant here, just to build up a bit of extra cash.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to do, though, on Nuke. If you want to make yourself your way towards B, rather, you're either running through the tight choke point of ramp, or you're trying to go outside, where obviously you have the range against those rifles, so not going to be fun. A, also not an easy site to get on towards. There's just nowhere easy to get bomb plants, really, on this map.
No.
The only map that was ever easy for an eco bomb plant was probably the B side of Train. You could just drop one smoke, you can charge out. It was way easier than any other map to just overwhelm the defender and get a bomb down. Even if you knew you couldn't really hold it. Yeah. But not a lot happened here anyway. That was a straight up cleanup, no casualties for one shot. That's what they wanted, and now we get to see what EcsTATIC can do. They're back on the buy, as you said, around 4,400 on everyone. It means they have the basics, but there's not going to be anything too fancy. There's no op in play. Nades are somewhat limited. If they lose this, again, one shot will be taking the lead, and at that point, they'll be setting themselves up pretty well to go ahead and take their map choice and ensure that things don't go south.
Trying again to grab that advantage through the squeaky door. Not going to connect this time. Instead, it's EcsMankz who finds an opener. There is trades, however. Not going to let that one go unpunished as Fade It. Now positioned over towards the garage. Going to back away, and because ramp has been very undefended for a little while now. You can see EcsMankz has pushed his way in. They have a lot of control over in that direction. This makes things very uncomfortable for one shot. Bird from Sky as well, and he will. FPS. Caught looking the wrong way. AK guns him down, and now you're left in a 4-on-3. EcsTATIC with that man advantage. Grek's going to be looking to try and go for a flank over towards that ramp, but he might just be a little bit too late to really have much of the impact he wants here. Bomb planted. And one shot. Do you even try and attempt this?
If they had found a quick kill, but there's no stragglers at the moment, so with everyone on one shot being so separated as well, I don't think it's really all that worthwhile. They are going to indeed call for that save to come true. loads of money at least, so they're going to have plenty to reinvest, but we're actually seeing what looks to be a fairly clean round here from EcsTATIC, unless they lose someone on the exit, which shouldn't be likely as they have a secure route out through Secret.
Yeah.
A strong round. Now they can rebuy up. They'll have a lot more utility to work with. They have the op as well on towards Bird from Sky for now. Anyway, I'd imagine they'll swap that over. Again, as I mentioned, one shot are not down and out. Rek is on the hunt. He actually manages to come in and take out one more player before going down. Well, he didn't even actually die, I don't believe, but before the time rather ran out. And, well, yeah, that forces a bit of reinvestment. Obviously, Wolfy didn't have the op, which he's probably thankful for now that Bird from Sky was holding it for him. But it will mean an extra AK being invested into it. It means that they can't really build up any money. Everything that they got out of that has been put into the reinvestment. So there's still a chance for one shot to just take this round and immediately get back into the driver's seat.
Yeah, that's in the danger right now, and EcsMankz, he smells blood. He's just running straight through. His teammates found a kill, a trade, and he's just running straight in towards that side. They're going to get that bomb planted super quick here. And I really like this from EcsTATIC. This is a great change of pace. Completely blindsided one shot. FPS stuck in the vent with an AWP. What can you do from this position? Probably not much of anything, just hoping that maybe somebody's going to push him. Maybe he can just give them a no-scope straight into the undercarriage. Okay, that's something. That's nice. One shot through, but is it going to be enough? It is! It is enough! They managed to get the retake off the back of that.
Very risky, I won't lie. Sending an FPS in first as well, just hoping that he can get one kill out of that op as he comes up the ladder, and thankfully he does. It distracts enough for everyone else to just come in and clean things up, and by the skin of their teeth that they managed to actually get that defused. Big round for one shot. EcsTATIC, though, they're going to be the exact opposite of that about how that round went down, because that really was theirs to lose.
Yeah.
Now look at them. They have two Mach 10s even in play. Sure, they've just about scraped the bye together, but lose this year on an eco. One shot are running away with the lead, and well, then you're just looking again to pull it back on your own map choice and hopefully make things different on Inferno.
You never know with Mach 10s. Provide some sort of brilliance. However unlikely that may be. I think FPS will have that secret approach locked down. Fade, it's in just... I love that position over towards the back of garage. So hard to clear. Chances are they're going to be clearing main rather than you. And you're almost guaranteed the kill. At least the first one. Anything on top of that is gravy, as it is going to be the approach through the secret steps. FPS is going to get tested. Flash blinds him up and he's forced to fall away. But EcsTATIC aren't going to probe any further that way. Fade, it's going to be here in these steps and he's going to take the fight. First kill goes his way. Bird from Sky drops and he's looking for a little bit more as EcsFASHR falls too. EcsTATIC going to try pushing now into the main side. Without the main split, it's just a death sentence. And one shot will tie things up.
Yeah, no utility really to move out towards the bomb site either. It was just walking in clean, being caught by the player in main, and just being left open then to the man on the bomb site as well. So, fairly straightforward in that hold right there from one shot, I've got to say. And as I mentioned, now EcsTATIC are left on the eco. They're not going to be able to even buy any pistols here, really. They've got a couple P250s in play, but not expecting really anything to be done with them. This is just going to be one shot, adding even more onto what is already a pretty strong economy for a couple of their players, and bolstering up on those who haven't really had that built up as of yet. And that's a scary position for EcsTATIC to be put in, where they need at least a couple of rounds to break the economy when they're already at this scoreline. It's not really something you can afford. Bit of a dink though. Shot on the Veda. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get the follow-up, and well, while EcsMankz has gotten himself one kill, it really shouldn't be leading to a round win, even if he was to get the finish on Fade. He actually dinked FPS, so not bad with the accuracy. Definitely hitting some nice shots. I mean, we've seen it with the Deagles earlier on. But now they need round wins or nothing.
Yeah, it really is crunch time. It's time to produce the goods. Wolfy's had a pretty solid game, I will say that. 20 and 15. He's been hanging 10 in there and getting the kills he needs to. See if he can get rid of this round, but the smoke obscures his vision. He's forced to fall away. Fade it. Just going to be locking down main. Ooh. The smoke? Don't know if FBS saw a foot or whatnot. Maybe Cynic's called it out to him. But it's a kill nonetheless. A great opener.
Five on 3. One shot are just looking kind of unstoppable here on Nuke, I've got to say. I'm really liking what we're seeing from him just across the board. Fada has looked really strong as well. He wasn't one of the immediate standouts. When we looked at the stats, Cynics though, he's going to go ahead and stand out from behind that box and catch himself a player off guard. FASHR falls. He actually managed to come away with a second before he burns. Really was a best case scenario, and he done more than enough for FPS to be able to get that finish on the final player. 14-12. It looks like they really are just kind of getting things into the flow rather here on the CT side and shutting it down. And it really is going to have to be, I believe at this point, EcsTATIC coming through with their Vertigo win and sending us maybe to a 3-map series as we seen the last day. A lot closer though than the 60-8 that we that they had rather in their first go around.
I was just about to mention that, yeah. Obviously, it's good in the sense that it means they've probably looked back at that demo and have seen if they can improve anywhere. They've found a few weak points. They have obviously made it a closer game. Obviously, still not over yet. They could still pull this one out, but looking at the buy, it's not looking likely. One shot are in just such a good position here. Shut down this round, and EcsTATIC basically have nothing. And we're heading into Vertigo. But let's see. You never know. You can always be surprised in CSGO, Dean.
Yeah, this guy flying his way down Secret is kind of hoping to do that here, but he's just acting as a bit of a distraction for now, of course. I thought he might have continued to go forward and try and actually cover some extra ground, maybe pull an extra rotation, but he seems happy enough to fall back off and see if he can maybe join up with the rest of his team once they get ready to go forward. They're actually taking their time as well. Just allowing for, I guess, one shot to fester, unaware of what is actually going on. They haven't really reacted too much to it. The only player they rotated down was Grex, and they've still got a really good setup on this A bomb site, but Jekka had no idea, I guess, that the door was open, tried to jump across and left himself exposed. And while Fade had done his best to hang on to the bomb site, it's not looking like it's enough.
This time from the M4, not quite, but it's FPS who's able to capitalize from backlines to find one. And Greg left on just 6 HP. He's not going to be feeling all too confident in this one. So EcsTATIC, they are going to be able to sneak out a 13th here, keep themselves alive. If Greg can maybe capture another kill here. Wolfy potentially on the cards around the corner. If you could take this all point, that would actually be a huge, huge loss for EcsTATIC. Greg. Ooh. I don't think he's going to be... Ooh, actually, Wolfy. He's not going to be playing around the corner. Yes, he is now. Okay. A little bit to and fro in there, but Wolfy does keep himself safe. And that's huge, because that's the AWP carrying through as well.
Yeah, very important as they do not have any sort of funding to actually rebuy that if needed, which kind of, I guess, puts us into a position where we have to note that if they lose this round, they don't have anything to try and fight for the overtime. So it's about really being able to chain these rounds together now. No more mistakes can be made. It needs to be flawless if they want to win here in regulation. And, well, up close to the smoke right now, Bird from Sky, if he was to spam away, might have had a shot. Did he not hear the molly being dropped down? And how close it was, rather? I guess just not wanting to give away his own position would have been an M4 on the other side. Tracers could have given it away, but the timing is fantastic. Sure, they don't manage to get the kill, but they've forced them away. They've done good damage as well. And now he's going to need the help of his teammate, who thankfully has made his way down towards the double doors. But he's gone. Never mind. Not able to give any sort of assistance. The B-bomb site is torn open. And Wolfy, he should at this point just be able to lock things down on the ramp side of things. Gotta be a save. I'm surprised FASHR's actually out here hunting it, but yeah, they seem to be aware of the fact that no one had even bothered to rotate yet. They left the lurker. It works out perfectly. And FPS is just going to have to try and hang these up because they are, well, they're not completely out of economy, rather. They are getting into a bit of an awkward position where their money's coming down, and they might not have enough to actually fight for the overtime themselves if they end up losing this next round. At least not on everyone.
Yeah, Greg, 11,000 as you come into this by phase. Yeah, he'll purchase up for a teammate. I think he dropped over the up to FPS, I believe.
I think so. I'd imagine since he spent 10,000. Yeah. Although we might have dropped 2 rifles considering. No, sorry, Fadet did spend 5,700. So yeah, he dropped the Cynics.
Okay. But yeah, moral of that conversation: they don't have much cash left.
Pretty much.
So it really is all or nothing here for one shot. This is the big chance, and already losing FPS, that's gonna sting.
He's been so crucial. I mean, he hasn't been their top fragger. As you can see, that's Fadet right now, but normally he is the man to do it. And even then, just having the up presence, even if he's not actively getting a kill at that exact moment, it causes the opponents rather to be a little bit more cautious about how they take some of those peaks, and it forces them to use their flashes especially. So being able to dispatch of that early on is a big find. And with that, they seem more than willing to just slow it down. They've got a minute. They know that one shot are the ones who are feeling the pressure right now at how important this round is. I think the hope was that a response was going to come through, that they get punished, but it didn't really seem to be the case. Instead, Ollies and smokes down on that A bomb site. I was going to say, they don't really seem all that ready to follow up with it. They only had FASHR really getting ready outside. And as he falls, suddenly we're back into a 4-on-4.
Hearing those molly ticks of damage is going to alert him to that vent push. Can't catch any of them dropping down, but a lot of damage inflicted onto a few of these players as they got down towards that B side, and it allows the quick rotate to come through, and that just being blasted inside of the site. Nades, spray, it's doing so much. They're denying the plant. Cynics is inside. Keeps creating confusion and carnage. Eventually, he will get caught, but Greg has a chance. 10 seconds. The bomb should get planted here on the opposite side. He'll be fine, but he's going to push forward. Takes down the support. Plant through. Bird's guy now left in the 1v1, but he can't do it. And Greg will capitalize 1 versus 2. An absolute chaos and confusion inside of the B site. It's going to put the one-shot side at 15. And map points. EcsTATIC had the chance, but it falls away.
Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward one. I mean, moving back from single there, you're not really sure what the right call is. There's a good chance Greg has just started charging right in towards the bomb site, but he made the right call to hold out, try and take out the man who was there to cover, and then was just confident in his ability to win out the one-on-one around the silo as well. And with that one shot now up to 15, it looked like it was gone basically that round. Now they have the chance to put an end to this here and now, at least on Nuke anyway. And, well, they've done a pretty good job. That drop in towards Mayan has not worked out for EcsTATIC. They've been torn apart. FASHR brought down low in the meantime. And, well, somehow Wolfy gets away with a drop down the ladder on the up, but he's only able to get the one out of it. He's going to be traded back by FPS, and now it's all on FASHR. 9 health and 2 opponents. And, well, for now, anyway, he should be given the bomb back, I believe. It's been abandoned by FPS, understandably so. He wants to try and play this alongside his teammate.
And with FASHR having a minute to work with, there is time. There is time. So he can play this however he wants. It all depends where he decides to go, because I think this is going to be the death sentence for him. A player faded towards the back of Garage should be able to finish him off with relative ease on that M4. Yeah, there you go. Locks it down. 16 secured for one shot. They do pick up Nuke. It's a little bit closer than last time, but we're going to head to a break before we head on to a little bit of an analysis from this map.